I know that you sort of talked about, how you came from the billable hour and you wanted to try something new, but what inspired you to adopt like a subscription based model instead of like a flat fee, let's say?
I wish I could like remember the aha moment specifically, but part of it was what was common for a lot of lawyers who end up using the subscription model, of which there are not a lot of, but of those who use the subscription model, a lot of them had a similar revelation, which was my clients aren't calling me because they're afraid that the clock is going to start ticking. And also, I feel bad if they do call and they have a quick legal question that I answer in a minute or two, and I don't want to bill them a full point one, which is for 6 minutes. And so like I'm not capturing that time for these clients. And so I should also say that even though I was working for other law firms over the almost 8 years that I was working at other firms before starting my own practice, because now I've been doing this for about 14 months for my own thing, I was always building a book of business. And so these were not for the insurance clients when I was with the insurance firm. These were for my own personal clients that I had brought into the firm. So I was just trying to think of a way that I can capture that without them being afraid to call me and aligning the incentives. And the subscription model really lent itself to that. So I did what any person does nowadays. This was before, depending on when you're listening to this was before ChatGPT and generative AI. Had that existed at the time, I might have gone to that and been like, describe all the different models that you could use to bill clients that's not the billable hour, and prompt it for that and see what it said. But at the time, I Googled it. Google, depending on what year you're listening to this to, Google used to be a company that we would go to find answers that other people had on the internet. So I Googled it and I saw that there were some lawyers using it. And so I looked at their websites. Some of them had prices, some of them didn't. There were maybe only like 3 or 4 that I could actually find their websites. And the ABA wrote an article about it, but just one article. This was like 2017 or 2018. I think it was 2018. And then I just started to look at the subscription model and learn everything I could about it, and just adapted it in my very own way. And as I was talking to those people, because I did reach out to some of them since I found their websites, and one of them did speak to me, Kim Bennett, and she ended up being the first guest on my podcast, Law Subscribed, which is all about subscription legal services and other lawyers using it or technologists building for it. And so I figured, well, I'm already talking to these people and doing this research, I might as well make a podcast about it. And the podcast actually came before the law firm, because I was originally going to launch the subscription model at the law firm, but it's hard to build a practice within a practice. And so I ultimately decided to go off on my own.